Today is Wednesday, December 4th, and I'm just wondering about how the college football playoff picture will play out this weekend. And we have 3 notes from Sports Deep Past in the second part of today's Just Wondering.
And now, a word from our title sponsor.
Are all financial advisors fiduciaries? Fewer than you think. Not knowing could reduce your lifestyle. Hi, I'm Mitch Kramer, founder and CEO of Fluent Financial. A fiduciary is a regulatory term to reduce conflicts of interest in wealth management. A fiduciary always works in your best interest. A non-fiduciary advisor might put their compensation or company ahead of yours. At Fluent Financial, we are certified financial planners acting as fiduciary advisors. To learn more, go to fluentfinancial.com or Fluent Financial's YouTube channel.
For the last 23 years on KTCK Radio The Ticket, I've anchored the Normathon. It's an all-day broadcast benefiting Austin Street Center for the Homeless. I believe the best homeless center in America. Over those 23 years, the Normathon has raised $9.5 million in cash for Austin Street. And we could not have done nearly that without the incredible help of Crest cars. The centerpiece of every Normathon has been the raffling off of 3 gorgeous Crest vehicles. This year, beginning on Monday, December 2nd, and running through the day of the broadcast of the Crest Cars Normathon, that's the 26th. We'll be selling raffle tickets at $100 each. Here's your chance to win one of 3 beautiful brand new Crest cars, a Cadillac, an Infiniti, and a Volvo. The tickets are easy to get and very safe by going to the website austinstreet.org and clicking on Normathon. Use your credit card. These tickets also make great Christmas stocking stuffers. The winners will be drawn live on the air December 26th at 7:10 p.m. on the broadcast of the Normathon. We will sell no more than 4,500 tickets. The raffle tickets sell out early every year. So again, get your $100 raffle tickets at austinstreet.org and then click on Normathon. When college football decided to expand from a 4-team format to a 12-team playoff format, it was expected that the conference championships in 9 different major college championships in the country would go a long way to determining that college football playoff field, that these games would mean in or out to so many teams. Well, the thoughts that this weekend would be very dramatic and tension-filled, probably not so much, buddy. Let's go to the 12-team field. Win or lose this weekend, I believe Oregon and Penn State for the championship of the Big Ten, Texas and Georgia for the championship of the SEC, and SMU, even if they lose in the ACC final, those 5 teams are in. Well, that leaves 7 spots still open. Well, not playing this weekend, but virtually certain to be in the field. Notre Dame, Indiana, Ohio State, and Tennessee. Well, that means 9 of the 12 spots are already decided. Now, Boise versus UNLV for the championship of the best non-Power 4 conference, and Arizona State versus Iowa State for the Big 12. Well, they'll fill 2 more of the slots. So what do we have this weekend? 1 slot up for grabs. Now, how does that break down? Well, if Clemson beats SMU, Clemson will win the ACC. They'll be in the playoffs. SMU will still be in the playoffs, But a third member of the ACC, Miami, almost certainly gets pushed out of the playoffs. So there'd still be one spot remaining. So who gets it? Alabama. Alabama's number 11 in this week's poll. They don't play this weekend. And they rank ahead of some other really good teams, like 3-loss South Carolina and 3-loss Mississippi, each in the SEC, and they also don't play this weekend. So they're not going to pass Alabama. And then the bad luck teams. The Big 12 is a solid, balanced conference, but they're only going to get one team in. And 10-2 BYU is not going to be in the final 12. They're not playing for the championship, so they can't improve their position. And the winner, Arizona State or Iowa State, is in the playoff, and the loser's out. That means goodbye to Colorado also, who's had a fabulous season at 9-3. The SEC will get 4 teams in the final 12. The Big Ten will get 4 teams in the final 12. The ACC will get 2. The Big 12 will get 1. And then that Boise UNLV winner gets in. I'm not sure this is what the college football bigwigs thought would happen here. And I'm not sure this isn't what it's going to be every postseason for college football over the next several years, because these rankings get solidified. And I'm not sure that conference weekend, which seems like a huge weekend, isn't going to be very much not so huge as we go forward in college football. Next, 3 notes from college football's past, all celebrating, well, their kind of anniversary this weekend.
For more than 3 decades, Bob's Steak and Chop House has remained an icon of DFW restaurants. Why? Well, maybe it's because of Bob. He's fanatical about cleanliness and friendliness, and his food, oh my Lord, his food. If you've been there, you know about it. If you haven't been there, you should know about it. The original Bob welcomes you at either of his 2 locations, Bob's on Lemon Avenue or the sparkling new Bob's at Craig Ranch, McKinney.
Let's go to sports deep past, and let's take you back to begin 39 years ago tomorrow, December 5th, 1985. And the headline is, Lord, the things lawyers have to say in court to try to defend their client. This comes from, of all places, the New Zealand Rugby League. Rugby's really big in New Zealand. And New Zealand player Latu Vaeno is sentenced to 6 months in jail after being found guilty that he bit off the ear of one of his opponents during a rugby match. In his closing argument, to try to change the jury's mind, and I think when you hear it, you'll understand why this did not change the jury's mind, Vaeno's attorney said, apparently with a straight face, quote, somehow, during the match, the ear of the opposing player must have gotten into my client's mouth, and the pulling action of that opposing player resulted in his ear coming off. Right. Next, this is one of the great college football games in history. It's December 6th, 1969. 55 years ago this Friday. It's the game labeled as the Great Shootout. Texas and Arkansas are each unbeaten. At stake is the conference championship of the Southwest Conference and the number one ranking in America. Of course, when number one beats number two or number two meets number one and each of them are undefeated, you're the number one team in the nation. And you get to go to the Cotton Bowl, and a win there would ensure you're being number one in the country. Arkansas, at home for this game, and in the stands, there are tons of Razorback fans and President Richard Nixon. Arkansas jumps to a 14-0 lead. Arkansas fans are delirious, and that's the game where the game rolls in the fourth quarter. But then Texas rallies behind two of the great college football names in history. With Texas quarterback James Slick Street scoring a touchdown and then running for a two-point conversion and then throwing a touchdown pass, the Horns get even at 14-14. They will win if they can kick the extra point. And they do. The kick comes off the foot of the wonderfully named Happy Feller. Texas has won. They go on to beat Notre Dame in the Cotton Bowl. They win the national championship. But little noticed in the delirious Texas postgame celebration was that their star defensive back, Freddie Steinmark, went to the team physician and complained about increasing soreness in his left leg. The doctors decide he should immediately be sent to a Houston hospital where cancer was diagnosed. Just 6 days after the Texas-Arkansas Great Shootout, All-American defensive back Freddie Steinmark has his left leg amputated, and he will never beat the disease. He will die just a year and a half later in June of 1971. Finally, the birth of an idea. You know, when situations arise, we got to come up with some solution. And CBS televising the 1963, December 7th, 1963 Army-Navy game, 61 years ago, had this real problem. Navy had this unbelievable quarterback, not passer, though he'd eventually become good at that also, but a fantastic runner. And he had these twists and turns and slight body movements that made him one of the really great runners in college football. But how to show that? How to show fans who were just watching the game at real speed those little moves this way or that made him such an elusive player? Well, on this date, CBS, to show the world the incredible elusiveness of Navy quarterback Roger Staubach, invented instant replay.
Today's episode brought to you by Fluent Financial, Retire Sooner, Better Lifestyle. And by Crest Cars. There's good, there's better, and then there's Crest. And by Bob's Steak and Chop House.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of Just Wondering with Norm Hitzges. If you enjoyed what you heard, please hit follow, and a fresh new episode will be delivered to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you know someone who might enjoy our work, please share it with them. I'm Norm Hitzges, and I'm always just wondering about something.
And I'm Mary Hitchkus, and I'm just wondering too.